Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Today's video is going to be over The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Episode 3, the breakdown for the trailer that we got after another amazing episode. I mean, they're coming up on the halfway point of this series, and it's been nothing short of amazing, and the storytelling is just, it's so much more fast-paced than I thought it would be, so they're able to kind of encompass a lot more things, but man, has it been a little bit of a shocker too. Those first two episodes, I did not expect to get the deaths that we got. And with that too, with the first episode, we had Okafor, who, from what I deducted from the trailers and the sneak peeks that we got, that he was just a completely loyal type of soldier, saw nothing or thought of nothing outside the CRM, but the truth was he was actually trying to rebel from the inside and trying to recruit Rick and Pearl Thorne, and I really started to like this character. Then out of nowhere he was killed, so that was just kind of surprising. And then we got the second episode with the introduction of the new group that Michonne was with, seeing things from her point of view as she made her journey to find Rick completely by accident. And through Michonne's journey, we had the introduction of Nat and the reintroduction of the couple, but I can never remember their names for some reason. But their part in this episode was very much not what I expected, as we see them go on this journey with Michonne. As they're introduced, they're in this mobile community, this caravan of people that are apparently very toxic because they leave people behind if they get hurt or they get lost or whatever the case is. And Nat and our other two survivors, they just did not want to be a part of that. They could not see it as being the right way to live, as the couple were the same couple that Michonne had found, and they had gotten hurt. The man had gotten hurt, and so they just decided that they could not be a part of this anymore. And so they actually left that group with a handful of other survivors, which all ended up getting killed by the CRM with that gas drop that we saw. It was chlorine gas where they just burned up their lungs and everything. And so we saw the couple actually die, unfortunately, and then it was just Michonne and Nat, and as they're going on their journey, Nat ends up dying just all of a sudden. He gets shot in the back, and I did not expect this because I guess I really liked Nat. I thought he was a cool character, and just the relationship that he formed with Michonne, I just thought was very genuine and very heartfelt. But then he's just taken from her as soon as she finds Rick. She gains back her husband and everything, and then all of a sudden her friend is taken from her. And it was a very shocking episode. But if you want to get my full review, check out the video above. But for now, we're going to jump into these pictures and discuss next week's episode titled Bye, and really dive in and break down what we've got coming, because I think the stakes are only get higher with the reintroduction of Jadis at the end of the last episode, and just the things that she told Rick that she's going to do if he tries to leave. But going into it, we open up with the helicopter shots of the helicopters flying towards the mountain range over this vast forest. And so I'm not sure if this is going to be a flashback scene. It almost feels like a flashback scene, but this could very well just be helicopters going to yet another secret outpost of some sort for the CRM. It's just really hard to tell, but I don't know. It just feels like a flashback scene, maybe to right after the formation of the CRM or just whatever it is, but it just has a weird feeling to it for some reason. Then the next one, we have a shot of Rick as Michonne is approaching him, and we can kind of jump into the next shot where we see Michonne's not going to make eye contact with Rick because they're under the false pretense that they don't know each other, and they can't reveal that they have a past because someone will pick up on it other than Jadis, who's kind of holding it over his head right now, holding it over their head, that they are trapped there. If they try to leave like Rick has been trying to do for years, they're going to get themselves killed, and she will take probably a force to Alexandria to wipe them out, which is really unfortunate that it's come to that. But also because at this point, I want to see Jadis die, but I think that's probably the direction the story's going to go anyways, because that's really the only way that Rick's going to be able to leave to get back home. The next one, we have a continuation of the end of the last episode where we see Rick. He's got this really kind of almost hurt but shocked and pissed off look on his face, like I really want to kill you right now type face, because this is the continuation of the conversation that he's having with Jadis in his apartment, because he comes home to find her in there, and she's revealing that she knows Michonne's there, and she follows up with that threat: if you leave, I'll kill you and I'll kill your family. It's just, really crazy what Jadis has become, because she was always kind of a selfish person, and she made it clear that she's out for herself. But while she's making this threat too, she says, I will kill everyone you care about, including a few that I actually like. And just, you see the lengths that she's willing to go to protect herself within the CRM, because this is all about her continued protection and her continued prosperity within the CRM, be in this functioning, thriving civilization where she is in a position of power nonetheless too. So it's just crazy to see the lengths that she's willing to go and what she's willing to do, and just, I really hope she has something coming towards her. Then here we are with Jadis again, just sitting back, drinking Rick's whiskey and just acting like she lives there. She's definitely someone who's let all this power go to her head, and she is just a terrible fucking person. Then we have another shot of the co-signing facility and the culling facility that we saw in the first episode. This is where people earn their way, they gain their citizenship into the CRM, and they have to just prove themselves, sometimes for years at a time, to show that they are and they can be somewhat useful to the continued building of the CRM as they expand out. And also they probably figure out through this, just like they did with Rick, that you can serve a purpose beyond being just a citizen. You can be a soldier and gain more responsibility, more power, move your way up through the rank. And so they're really going to see what Michonne's all about, which kind of blows her cover in a sense too, because here we see Michonne in the culling facility getting ready to do probably her daily thing. And then we move on to the next shot. We have Rick. He's obviously kind of exasperated or whatever it is, but he's talking to someone, probably Pearl Thorne, that the woman that he brought in, someone that saved his life, and he doesn't want them to find out who she is to send her away. So he's just really trying to get Pearl to understand that you can't bring her up, you can't question things about her, because it will get her sent away or possibly killed. Here we are with Michonne in the culling facility again, just doing the thing. And here is where she kind of starts to blow her own cover without realizing it. She's taking out these walkers, and it looks like she's outside of the norm, where she doesn't have the protection of the bricked up slit area. And she proceeds to impale this thing in the face and rip its head off. And she does this in clear view of Pearl Thorne, who is starting to see through the cracks that Michonne is not this weak, can't take care of herself type of person. She's a strong person, and this is what gets people to be labeled as A's and then sent off, because they don't want them to become any kind of liability to them, to the security of what they've built. They don't want people to rise up and build up a force behind someone else, because we see her with this head ripped out, and she's kind of this look on her face like, oh shit, someone's seeing me. I'm outside of the wall. I'm probably in the area that I shouldn't be in the first place. And it just really starts to dissolve the facade that she has built up as she was processed in. Then we got Rick and Pearl here. They're having that same conversation where Pearl's realizing that Michonne is not who she says she is, because she's under this false name, and there's more to her than Rick's letting on. That she's probably figuring out this is his wife. This is the woman that he's been trying to get out to get back home to. And I'm not real sure what side of the fence Pearl's going to be on about it, if she's going to report this or she's going to kind of keep it to herself and say, you need to watch what you do or you will get yourself killed. It's just, I really not sure of her loyalty and how deep it runs to Rick, but I'm thinking that she is probably going to maybe help Rick get out. I could see that happening possibly too, helping Rick and Michonne find this way out, because we do have the sewer access that's Rick, even though he threw a grenade down there, could possibly still be accessible and be a way to get out of the CRM. Because we see Michonne in this next shot. She's down in what could possibly be a sewer or an abandoned building. And we can see that she has gotten her katana back. I don't know how she got this, or maybe by some weird coincidence that it was given to her by the CRM as a new weapon that she can use, but I doubt it. I feel like she's probably stolen this back somehow, because we see here clearly she has her katana back, and she's in, I want to say probably the sewers or just the sub-basement of some building or somewhere, obviously within the CRM, but looks like she's trying to maybe map a way out of the place, and she's going with maybe the plans that Rick had for himself back in the first episode. And here in this last shot, we have Pearl confronting Michonne, just really starting to see through this facade that she's built up, and she's trying to reassure her, I'm just Dana. But as she's doing it too, she's really letting Pearl know through body language and whatnot that she's not intimidated by her. She's standing her ground. And even though she's trying to get Pearl to see that she's not who she thinks she is, and that she is just there to gain citizenship or do her thing, that Pearl sees right through it. She sees that she's a strong, capable person, and that she is risking being labeled as an A and being possibly sent off. So I really want to say that they're going to possibly gain a mutual respect for each other, and I want to believe that Pearl's going to be a helping hand in the end to get Rick and Michonne out, to maybe even risk her own life in doing so, because I really think that Pearl has that respect for Rick, and she is kind of a friend, because she did help save his life in the first one by saying that Okafor knows about you, he knows about where you come from, and he knows about your family, so he really spared any deaths or any possible threats to his home because of Pearl. So I'm really hoping that's the direction that they go, that we could see Pearl be an ally in the end, the one that they need, the one missing piece that will help them get back home. But that does it for the picks for the next episode. It looks just as good as any of the others. I mean, this has been a 100% hit for hit series, and seeing these characters reintroduced or introduced for the first time, they're really doing it right, I think, with the storytelling and the pace at which they tell it. So I'm really excited for the next episode, but if you enjoyed my breakdown and my thoughts about the series, please leave your likes, leave your comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Help me make that push to 1,000 subscribers this year. It would mean the world to me. So until next time, take care. Bye.